Countries copy different nations' landmarks all the time. For example, there are 80 different replicas of the Eiffel Tower around the world, from Las Vegas in Nevada to Lahore in Pakistan. However, China went a step further, replicating entire cities. In today's video, we introduce you to the East Paris, China's imitation of London, and much more. Did you know that China constructed a man-made canal to replicate Venice's Grand Canal? And that they nearly rebuilt a small village in Austria? Before we continue, please like this video and subscribe to AHM Top 10. If you want to visit these cities, please let us know in the comments section below. While it may appear perplexing to an outsider, copying is not considered a bad thing in China. However, it is merely a component of the building's infrastructure. However, it's still pretty amazing to see how they've built replicas of cities from all over the world within the country. Number 5. Tianducheng. Tianducheng is a carbon copy of Paris, so it's no surprise that it's been dubbed the Paris of the East. Construction began in the Zhejiang province in 2007. The city has a 110-meter-tall mini replica of the Eiffel Tower, which is about one-third the size of the real thing. On top of that, it has a replica of the Versailles Neptune fountain, and even a replica of Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting Mona Lisa in one of Paris's many buildings that mimic the French neoclassical style. Even if the city itself does not look identical, there are some areas where it resembles the original. As a result, the city is a popular photo location. China also imitated some Parisian details, such as lampposts on the street, and the design of the greenery that surrounds the central tower. However, aspects of traditional Chinese culture can still be found in the city. Instead of baguettes, bakeries sell taro and pastries with red beans. Initially, the project did not attract a large number of Chinese citizens. Tianducheng had a population of only 2,000 people in 2013. Some even claimed that the city was becoming a ghost town. After a few years, however, it has become more populated and bustling with activity. The country intends to expand the city even further by adding a metro station within Tianducheng by the end of 2021. Number 4. Thames Town. Named after the Thames River in the United Kingdom, was designed to look exactly like London. Originally, the area was just a large piece of farmland. Tony Mackay, a British citizen, collaborated with the Shanghai Planning Commission to transform it. This was part of a national effort to redistribute the number of people living in cities by enticing them to relocate to the suburbs. Thames Town, just outside of Shanghai, is now filled with Victorian terraces and even classic red telephone boxes. Some structures are nearly exact replicas of those found in London, such as the main church, which is designed to resemble the Christ Church in Bristol. To create the most authentic town possible, the country even imported lampposts directly from the United Kingdom. Finally, the Chinese government constructed their own version of London's Tower Bridge. It is twice the size of the London Bridge, with 4 turrets rather than 2, despite the fact that it was built to look exactly like the original. Later, the government covered it with gray paint to make it look more like Chinese architecture. The total cost of the copycat town after 5 years of construction was over $770 million. When the project was finally completed in 2006, unfortunately, Thames Town did not become the huge success that its architects had hoped for. While it did attract many tourists who came to take wedding photos, due to the high cost of the houses in the area, very few people actually live in the town. Number 3. Hallstatt. The name of the next replica is the same as the name of the original town it is imitating, Hallstatt. A replica of the Austrian village Hallstatt can be found in the town of Luyong in Bolu County. The original Hallstatt has about 900 residents, and some of them visited the replica city when it first opened. The layout of the Chinese copy is nearly identical to that of the original, from ponds to classic European architecture. To ensure authenticity, the replica includes a diorama of the Austrian village. Many of the employees in the restaurants and bakeries dress similarly to Austrian employees in the older village. Min Metals Land Incorporated is a Chinese company that was founded. The project cost approximately $940 million to complete with the assistance of a wealthy tycoon. The town's creators hoped that it would attract wealthy Chinese citizens who could not afford to live in a genuine Austrian village, but would be willing to pay less for homes in Lyon that looked the same. Since the original Austrian Hallstatt has a population of less than 900 people, the Chinese replica does not attract many long-term residents. However, it remains a major draw for both native Austrians and foreign tourists looking for a taste of Austria in the East. Number 2. Suzhou. Suzhou, located next to Shanghai, was dubbed the Venice of the East by Marco Polo himself in the 13th century. Man-made canals resemble those in Italy, and gondola rides feature people dressed in traditional Venetian garb. China even has its own Leaning Tower, although it was never intended to be a replica of Italy's Leaning Tower of Pisa. During the Ming Dynasty, the ground beneath one of Suzhou's Buddhist temples began to soften. It began to lean about 400 years after it was built in the 10th century. Some of the cuisines even mimic those of Venice, with many restaurants serving pasta that tastes almost identical to that of Italy. Suzhou combines traditional Chinese culture with expensive gardens that are hundreds of years old and feature water lilies and intricate rock sculptures. Today, the city has a population of over 10 million people and receives thousands of visitors each year. Number 1. Sanweng. Our final copycat town in Jiangxi province is designed to resemble William Shakespeare's birthplace, Stratford-upon-Avon, England. Sanweng, which translates to Three Masters, is the name of the town, because it is intended to honor both Tang Zhaozhu, Shakespeare's Chinese contemporary, and the Spanish author Miguel de Cervantes, as well as William Shakespeare. Despite the fact that the town is not yet finished, China had intended to construct a replica of Shakespeare's birthplace, as well as a recreation of the famous Avon River. To commemorate Cervantes' life, the town would build a small Alcala replica of his childhood home. The Shakespeare Birthplace Trust is a charitable organization that oversees Shakespeare heritage sites and collections all over the world. Wanted to collaborate with Chinese architects to ensure that the town's representation of the original Stratford-upon-Avon was historically accurate. However, these plans for Sanweng will have to be postponed because the Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development, as well as the National Development and Reform Commission, have banned the development of any new copycats beginning in May 2020. According to government officials, this decision was made in the hopes of promoting Chinese designers and preserving the nation's culture. There is no official plan to demolish the replica structures, but they will be thoroughly inspected. What do you think of all these Chinese knockoffs? Would you like to go to one of the replicas? Please tell us in the comments section below. If you haven't already, please like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.